Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. In this video, I'll speak about gold. And as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I'll cover the technical aspect for this market. Then we will be moving to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the big players and institutions are doing and how they're moving and shifting their orders, which is what you see right here. And by the end of the video, by putting together these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here for this pair. So this is definitely a video you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. Starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is in a very strong uptrend. The market has been creating a series of monthly higher highs and higher lows, and all this uptrend with very strong bullish momentum is fueled by strong institutional buying. And we will be speaking about the institutional buying in just a few moments when we move to the commitment of traders analysis and what institutions in the market are doing. But for now, let's keep in mind that here in the monthly, the market is in a very strong uptrend, and that all this uptrend is coming as a development away from a quite important historical structured zone. In fact, what we had was this level which was acting as previous monthly resistance preceding all these rejections to the downside, and then the market managed to break above that zone after this breakout to the upside. And what we know is that previous resistance, once it is broken to the upside, becomes support. So the market, after breaking this resistance to the upside, retested it, and all this huge uptrend now that is currently still underway started to be developed. So here in the monthly, everything is quite clear. The market is still in a bullish market. Let's drop that on the weekly time frame and see what we have. Now, here in the weekly, we do have an ascending trend line. In fact, in a situation like this, in which you have an ascending trend line and equal highs, this is called an ascending triangle formation, because essentially you're having a triangle formation in which at the top you have equal highs, but here at the lows you have higher lows. What this means, so the psychology behind this pattern is that as we're seeing equal highs, it means that every time sellers are stepping in at a specific level. If we're seeing higher lows, it means that buyers are still in control because they're managing to create higher lows every time. And what usually follows after that is a breakout to the upside, because buyers have shown that they are still in control of this market, creating higher lows every time. And that is in fact exactly what just happened with this massive breakout to the upside. And at the moment, we are still in the breakout phase with the market still showing strong bullish momentum. Let's drop down on the daily time frame and see what we have. Now, from a daily perspective, what we can notice is an impulse correction, and right now the market is facing the equal high with the possibility of creating a potential double top at this area. So let's go and see what the institutional side of the market is currently doing. Well, if we move to the commitment of traders analysis for gold, what we can see is that net positions are still being increased and are still quite high. We are currently sitting with 266.7k net positions, so we are still quite high. Going from the low here at 212k net positions, now we're sitting at 266k net positions. So quite massive increase in net positioning, showing that at the moment institutions are holding 332k longs compared to only 66k shorts. So clearly positioned aggressively to the bullish side of gold, therefore making it stronger. So let's keep that in mind and move back to the chart. And by the way, if you still haven't, make sure that you join my free Telegram channel, which you find linked in description, so you never miss new updates. Now back to the analysis. So in a situation like this, we have to identify structure. Here at the low, this is the level at which we have previous daily resistance, which is now turned support. Now, if that double top here at the previous high will be created, things would get very interesting, because if from here the market does create a push lower, we would have essentially the creation of this daily M pattern testing also previous daily resistance turned support. Now, why is an M pattern a quite effective pattern? Because when you have an M pattern, it means that a lot of people, when this higher low was created, started longing the market. Then when retail traders are longing a market, usually their stop loss is below the low. So when the market then drops and liquidates all the stop losses, we have the creation of the M pattern, and at that point institutions can actually buy and the move to the upside continues. So in this case, if we do have the creation of this M pattern, so we don't know if from here the market will just continue higher, because in that case there is new structure and we have to reassess the situation. But if from here we have a push lower, that would be a quite interesting setup, because we would have this M pattern, which is a bullish pattern, plus we will be testing previous daily resistance turn support with institutions already longing the gold market. So if we will have the creation of this M pattern, what would I expect? Well, as usual, and as my students know very well, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily time frames combined with the COT data, those are the best time frames when it comes to directional aspect of the market. However, when it comes to identifying early shifts in the trend of a market, the best time frames for that are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if this market would shift from an intraday bearish to a bullish market and provide a rejection to the upside. That definitely wouldn't surprise me.
Now, all this free education and analysis that you see me share here on YouTube is actually just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, if you want to learn more, I really suggest that you go over to the Transparent FX Trading website, which you find linked in the description. And here you will have the possibility to gain access to all my courses, which range from the very basics of trading to the more advanced topics like building automated trading systems, building a portfolio of strategies, uncorrelated strategies, and much, much more using quantitative finance tools like the Quant Analyzer. So it's really something that you cannot afford to miss. You also have the possibility to gain access to my trading station software with the Telegram notifications integrations, one-on-one mentoring directly with me for any questions you have along the way, the COT data software, which you often see me use here on my YouTube videos. The program is also an all-in-one program, so you gain access to everything immediately, including all my strategies and EAs, and you also gain access to my entertaining trading show in which I share all my trades as they're happening. Here, you will see the presentation of each and every one of my strategies with the full historical backtest and presentations of the rules of the strategy. You also, as we were speaking about, have access to the live trading show. So essentially, every trade that is taken on my live account is automatically shown here in a very entertaining fashion as they're happening. So opened, closed, managed, so you can learn even more. And as you scroll down, you will see that you have the possibility to join and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the registration process. So again, I really suggest you go and check it out. The link is in the description, and I will see you on your student dashboard. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you click on the like button to support the channel. Also, any questions you might have, let me know in the comments below. Also, new pairs that you would like me to cover in my next videos. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel so you never miss new updates, and I will see you in my next video.